Hi friends, in this video we will change the spark plugs. The spark plugs create a spark in the vehicle ignition systems to ignite the fuel, air mixture in the engine cylinder. The reason why I changed the spark plugs, the replacement date has came. The usual ones change after 30,000 kilometers mileage. Iridium platinum 100,000 kilometer mileage. The car began to throw it, to which the onboard computer of the car showed a check engine error. The onboard computer ignited that the spark plugs failed and needs to replacement. Check the car candles with a set not limited to replace only the broke one. If there were single electrode plugs in the car, replace them with platinum tipped plugs or multi-electrode plugs with 2 or more electrodes. Multi-electrode plugs cost 2 or even 3 times more, but will last longer. They are also suitable for use in harsh climates in desert and sandy areas. Friends, and before starting the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and put a bell so as not to miss new video on the channel. Malfunction symptoms. Difficulties when starting the engine, usually accompanied by a long operating of the starter. The engine is destroyed. The car jerks when driving, picks up speed poorly. It lacks traction and power. Significant increase in the fuel consumption. An increase in the amount of CO in the exhaust gases. Reduce engine dynamics. Insufficient set of revolutions. The working part of the spark plugs is constantly in the combustion zone of the fuel mixture and can serve as an indicator of the processes taking place inside the cylinder. What plug converts the surface of the combustion chamber, which is invisible from the outside, is deposited on the electrodes. This is the fastest and most convenient way to look inside the engine. You just have to disconnect the high voltage wire and unscrew the part from the socket. Light electrodes. White or light gray spark plugs in all cylinders are a sign of a lean air fuel mixture supplied by the injector or carburetor. Moreover, the skirt, the platform near the electrodes, and the threaded part are absolutely dry, without trace of oil. Why is the lean mixture supplied? Lambda. The probe incorrect informs the control unit about the amount of oxygen in the exhaust gases. The reason is the wear of the sensor. Faulty of clogged nozzles. Incorrect carburetor setting or clogged fuel jets. Insufficient pressure in the fuel injector rail. Problem with the idle speed regulator. Air leaks under the manifold or elsewhere. Unsuccessful chip tuning of the control made by the owner of the car. A lean mixture does not pose a particular danger to a running engine, but it brings discomfort to the driver. The car accelerates slowly, pulls poorly, and twitches. There is a lack of fuel. Oddly enough, the phenomenon causes an increased consumption of gasoline. A car enthusiast who wants to active better dynamics presses the acceleration pedal harder and more often. Black spark plugs are symptoms indicating that the fuel mixture is too rich. The proportion of gasoline is increased above the norm. Therefore, the fuel does not burn completely and forms a layer of soot on the chambers, walls, and the spark plugs electrodes. There are quite a few reasons for enriching the air fuel mixture. The most common are as follows. One of the key sensors has become unusable. Air flow, temperature, throttle position, or oxygen content in the exhaust lambda probe. The controller activates the emergency program and prepares the mixture according to other indication. Carburetor malfunction, clogged air jet, wear on the throttle valves, take. Breakage of the pressure regulator in the fuel line, nozzle wear, nozzles overflow and leak when the power unit in not work. Problem with spark plugs, the power of the electric impulse is not enough for the normal ignition of the combustion mixture. Part of the unburned fuel penetrates into the crack cans and details of oil, accelerating the wear of the engine part. The other part falls into the exhaust manifold, which is why shots are periodically heated in it. Soot clogs and expensive catalyst convert. It has to be cleaned or replaced with a new one. The life of spark plugs is radically reduced. When running on a rich fuel mixture, the engine chokes. There is an unsuitable idle and skipping cycles. When a certain amount of soot heated to a high temperature accumulates in the chambers, after the ignition is turned off, the engine does not want to stall and make 210 crankshaft revolutions. The reason is incandescent soot that ignition a combustion mixture without a spark. This phenomenon is less common than the above effects, where the red electrodes on a same candle. The tank is filled with a low-quality gasoline with additives that increase the octane number. A motorist or a fuel supply add additives to gasoline, which contain a large amount of metals. The owner of the car put candle in the cylinder that did not match the heat rating. Engine oil is visible on the 3D end and the area near the outer electrodes. Grease penetrates the oil scrape rings, getting inside the chamber with each cycle and upward movement of the pistons, so it does not burn. As a rule, this effect indicates the initial stage of wear of the compressing and oil scraper rings. The working part protruding into the combustion chamber is covered with a fluffy brown carbon deposit. The light brown color of the plug wear means that the engine consumes a large amount of grease for waste. Moreover, the oil penetrates together with the combustible mixture through the opening valves. The fact is confirmed by the fact that the lubricant completely burns out and settles on the valves, since it enters the chamber only during the intake cycle. The reason is the circle wear of the valve stem seals, as the way the valve seals. An additional feature of the higher oil consumption amount 1 liter per 1000 km of run. The candle is frankly wet. There is a sharp smell of gasoline. A wet candle, that smell of gasoline must have been unscrewed, forming an inoperative cylinder. The second option of completely failure of the candle itself. Gasoline is regularly supplied to the chamber by an injector, but does not ignite and partly flows into the crankcase. If there is no compression in the cylinder, then compression and subsequent flash does not occur. Fuel wasted, consumption reaches 25% and dilutes the ignition lubricant. The inner electrode is burnt or missing. Obviously, a candle with a burnout electrode must be replaced. An important nuance: these parts don't change one by one, but only in a set of 4 pieces. It's allowed to put working candle in the cylinder temperature to get to the garage or service station. That's all guys, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to put like.